The Fighting Irish regrouped. Amid the drinking and good cheer was a feeling that this was too good to be true. No one was surprised when the captain addressed them. "Congratulations, we now own the place. I will be meeting the despot of despots to sign the paperwork. There's a lot of people unhappy with us. We aren't finished yet." She called up the sergeant. Sergeant Elysium raised his glass. "Well done. To those I patched up, please remember no alcohol." Some of the men just laughed. "As the captain has said, the other shoe is still to drop. From what Sergeant Flipper has told me, we can expect merc attacks and cyber war. Please remember that we are the alien invaders. We are not the good guys here. That being said, gear up. The captain will be issuing new orders tomorrow, so except for the poor sods on watch, Slaint, she's buying the beer." In her new office, computers had been ransacked for information. Hinckley had secured a connection to the orbiting ships and then from them back to her own systems on Shiva Orbital. The captain and her two sergeants were looking at maps of the corporation lands. "This place is fucking huge. No way to defend it all with 100 men. Elysium, contact Earth. See who's willing to join us. You seem to know every ex-soldier on the planet. Sergeant Flipper, you're the local. Can we recruit anyone useful around here that we can trust?" From the way his whiskers were waving about, the sergeant was unhappy with the question. Hinckley was learning how her new people behaved, but keeping one close seemed to be the simplest way to study them. She was sure he didn't realize how important he was. "Not really. I can probably pick up a few that I trust, but anyone joining now would probably be working for someone else as well. The old investors are offering serious money to infiltrate us. I already sent a few of my men home for accepting bribes. I doubt I got them all." The captain nodded. "So we're on our own. Figures. Keep an eye on your men. On the upside, I bought 2 of the corporations that attacked us. I'll be meeting the other shareholders tomorrow. I'll need a serious escort. We need to be too big to attack. This is their fucked up system. Let's use it. Our battle lawyer calls it a hostile takeover. We do hostile really, really well." Hinckley had invited the directors of First Credit Bank and Private Pensions Incorporated to meet at her new headquarters. When they arrived, they were met by a solid line of stony-faced humans, armed to the teeth, to escort them. Full body searches revealed several weapons, a dozen different surveillance devices, and a butt plug. After some loud discussion between the troops, it was permitted. They were herded gently into the boardroom. Captain Hinckley sat at the top of the table, lukewarm water swirling around her knees. She had left the corpses of the previous board members floating about. She must make a note for the cleaners, then make a note to hire some cleaners. Some 30 civilians were led into the boardroom. Hinckley discovered that this species could also vomit. They had so much in common. "Welcome all. Before we start, I would like to point out 3 important facts for you. The first is that I am now the majority stockholder in your corporations. The second is that you are here because we slaughtered your military after you sent them to attack us. The third is the simple fact that I was able to buy your stock so cheap is that you, both personally and as companies, have a very low life expectancy right now. We are going to defend ourselves and our interests here. Lucky for you, right now that includes you. You can tell because you're not dead or dying right now. Now I need you to supply me all the codes to your corporate banking. I need a list of those you expect to attack you. Then we will be doing a public relations blitz about how fucking happy you are about all of this. Sergeant Flipper will take the details." Back in her office, she called Sergeant Elysium in. "I need 2 squads to babysit these assholes. We need more sergeants. Send me the best candidates we have and we'll put them to work on it." Sergeant Elysium looked injured. "Why do you need more sergeants? I thought everything was fine." Hinckley paused. "Congratulations on your promotion to Master Sergeant. Piss me off anymore and I'll make you an officer." Elysium shuddered. He had spent the whole war avoiding that. "You can't do that. You're only a captain." It sounded weak even as he said it. "Sergeant, this is my private army. Despot, remember? If I want to announce I'm a fucking field marshal, there is nothing to stop me. No need to be hasty. I'll send the best we have. There's no shortage of talent around here." Comms called through. "Captain, incoming call from the central bank. You might want to take this." "Put them through." "Congratulations on your victory, Captain Hinckley. I am the chairman of the central bank. We might have been a little hasty in attempting to intervene in your advancement. The despot of despots has made his full support of your accession to the court very clear. My board would like to make it clear that we will not intervene in the future. However, we were wondering if our ships would be returned, Captain Hinckley reflected. It served no purpose to weaken the despot of despots right now. Also, she couldn't afford the manpower to crew surface ships. Aside from the odd boarding action, her people fought better on land. Chairman, I will happily return your ships to you. I expect some kind of ceremony is appropriate. Also, if you could announce that, perhaps due to the need to train new crew, your fleet will remain in our bay for joint exercises with us. The chairman got the point. The humans wanted credit for the victory, a nice show of goodwill to the despot of despots, and a friendly fleet on their waters. He could see why the DD liked her. Once again, the stock market was her friend. Shiva AI alerted her that the mercenary troops around the planet were on the up. A few calls and some digging showed that they were being booked up by several corporations around her. It looked like a land grab. They were not security companies or old investors just looking to push the borders a little. Or a lot, if they got lucky. 4 ships left from Earth, 1 left from Shiva. She would need her toys for this. Now it was a race. Time to go back to what she was good at. The office work was getting dull anyway. Sergeant, put together a strike team for me. You're in charge of this all if it goes foobar. Get our people out. I've transferred most of the money to Earth. Everyone still gets paid. Sergeant Elysium knew what that meant. If the captain was going to war, no point arguing. How many men? I'll take 20 men. You should have reinforcements coming. They looked at each other. They had both heard that before. It never ended well. I'll send them to the armory. I assume you'll meet them there? Yes, then to the boats. I'll call the flyboys for cover. Her men had turned back into the professional killers she knew them to be. They knew what the numbers were. They knew that if the captain was in charge, then this was going to hurt. Someone. Hopefully not them. Hinckley opened the armory. Help yourself. We will be hitting multiple targets, short and sweet. We aren't trying to hold ground. Just fuck them up and move on. Free fire. Probably all mercs. Gear up. The boats slid quietly into the inlet. Apparently, this was, of all things, a shoe manufacturer. They had hired over 200 mercs that, hopefully, hadn't arrived yet. They were looking for cheap gains against the fighting Irish. This world was seriously ill-informed. The doors were guarded, normal security, not equipped well enough to be freelancers. She sent her men in. The mall cops obliged by dying quietly. She went to work on the security systems. We have full access. Kill them all, fry their systems, and get into position. We wait. Her men cut down everyone they found. Simple security guards, surprised at their posts. Then they hit the IT section. Frankly, it was embarrassing. Apparently, some things are universal since there was just one person looking after the whole lot. He dived into the water and fled. They just shot stuff until it stopped beeping. The mercenary troops landed, disgorged from shuttles in front of the building. I like their shuttles. Wait till they're closer. For the mercs, this was a day trip. Everyone knew the humans had fluked a win against some security guards. Their contacts in the central bank fleet said it was just surprise that allowed them to win. Tomorrow, they would be fish food. 20 men stood ready. Teams of 2 had chosen their ground well. Crossfire, mines, mortars, and misinformation all waiting. Hinckley watched as the merc troops approached. Now! 10-1 are good odds. Most forces would be embarrassed to lose against it. The mercenary troops didn't have time to be embarrassed. Out in the open, on prepared ground, with comms ruined, all they did was die. Hinckley led the charge to finish it, rifle held high and a knife when she needed it. Call the sergeant, tell him we have choppers.